Do you wave your terrible towel when Renegade plays? Reach for a tasty cake when JJ shouts, "He scores!" Does the sound of an F1 engine make your heart race? Doing push-ups with the Nittany Lion after a TD? Then lend us an ear, and we will share the exhilaration of Steelers football, the excitement of Flyers hockey, the nail-biting finishes of F1, and the pride when we yell, "We are Penn State." Welcome to the SteelFlyers Show, the strangest combination of sports fandom since pineapple was put on pizza.
It's going to be all right. It's your host, SteelFlyers.
Thank you. That is a delightful co-host, Ronies.
Steelers going into a bye week. Thank goodness.
Lions get crushed by Ohio State in not-so-happy Valley.
Don't look now, but are the Flyers tied for first in the Metro?
Red Bull wins Constructors Championship? Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so we would like to welcome you to episode number 13 of Season 2. And we got a lot of stuff to get into here, folks, because a lot of stuff is going on. Not just on the field, on the ice, on the track, and off the field, but also here at SteelFlyers. So, big thank you to InfoQuest and development staff for revamping the website, and oh my gosh, the store is open. Go check it out. Go to SteelFlyers.com/shop, and you'll be able to purchase a SteelFlyers All Sports Network t-shirt. You'll be able to get a Hockey Writers Inc. t-shirt, and you'll be able to get the Pearl O Wisdom t-shirt.
That's my favorite.
Frolic. That's right. There you go. So, hop on over to the website, and really big thank you to InfoQuest for helping us out and do that. I mean, you got to check them guys out. They will take care of you for all of your website needs, hosting, and all that other great stuff. So, big thanks to them, and appreciate all that. Got to go check it out. So, there's some lots of announcements to make here first, so I want to get into it right away. The first announcement we're going to make is this. Officially now, Lance Green is the editor-in-chief of SteelFlyers All Sports Network. He's already posted 2 articles to the Hockey Writers Inc. webpage, so you guys got to go check that out at SteelFlyers.com/link/Hockey Writers Inc.
And he's really good.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he's that's one of the other great upgrades that we've made to the SteelFlyers web page, is you'll be able to read some articles on there now. So we're starting to get some writers out there to post and stuff. So speaking of writers, now that Lance has posted 2 articles out there as well, now we are also got to announce that we'll be getting Tyler Ledbetter will be writing for the SteelFlyers All Sports Network. He will be covering the Philadelphia Flyers, also the Phantoms, and also some NHL along with his partner, Ryan. And they will be creating and doing a show called Backcheck Banter. Can't wait for that to get rolling, so you guys got to be on the lookout for that. For that's coming up soon.
Yeah, that should be a good show.
I think so, too. I think that's going to be... those guys are pretty great, and they will be a good representation here as well. Also, the continued... would you say partnership of the 5-Star Radio or 5-Star matchup?
5-Star.
5-Star matchup and SteelFlyers have quite a nice little radio show going on. So I'll be looking for the webpage from that on the SteelFlyers website.
Usually on Wednesdays?
Yeah, usually Wednesday nights at about 5:30 to 6 o'clock. We go live, and we usually roll for an hour or two-ish. Yeah. Depending on whenever we feel like we gotta, all right, we gotta eat some food, you know.
It's interesting, though, because you're very involved with the chat and questions that come up and open to discussion and all of that. So
exactly. It's a great platform. It's a great platform on 5-Star matchup. On his channel. But be looking for that on the website too. That's coming. The 5-Star matchup page, that'll be coming. So be looking to that as well. That's also one of the upgrades that's been coming to the website as well too. So, and he's got some great merch. You got to go check him out too. I mean, he is the GOAT when it comes to Steelers.
And if you've never watched any of his videos, you need to check him out.
I mean, you know.
Just go to 5-Star on YouTube, 5-Star matchup on YouTube, and check him out, because he's He's great.
Yeah, for sure. Great episode today, by the way, there, Foster. I haven't had a chance to fully comment and engage in it. I did watch it briefly, but, we'll be all over that here shortly. Also, big thank yous to Lance and everyone for all of their great contributions, especially the great Perlo Wisdom Show, and, of course, the Peyton on the Radio show. Peyton now being able to get out on some of the platforms as well, too, for Spotify and things like that. So you got to go check him out. They do... Perlo does his B-Pal picks. You got to go check him out. And he is the great Perlo Wisdom with his great pearls. You got to follow the Frolic, and you got to go buy one of his T-shirts, man. It's all good. So you got to support the Frolic. You got to get with Peyton on the Radio. He's all that, and of course the man, the GOAT, the myth, the legend, off the wall hockey, John, calling games almost doubleheaders almost every night. The man is just a legend. If you're not watching or following John from Off the Wall Hockey, you're missing out big time. He's also a great contributor and great guy, and you guys got to go check him out too. So, all right.
Now we're done plugging everybody.
Yeah, now that we've done all that, the first thing I think we need to address is the elephant in the room, and the elephant in the room is
black and gold.
Black and gold. And so you guys get a slight little preview of the radio show that we're going to have with Foster Hart as well.
Well, I mean, okay, I don't want to, I honestly just don't even want to talk about the Steelers, but...
It does kind of make you not want to, but...
Everybody knows the problems. Everybody but the people on the team...
Knows the problems.
Knows how to fix the problem.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about... I want to talk about that. Everybody out there has an opinion about how to fix this team. So, how do you... I'm going to ask you, Ronice, how do you fix the team? If you were the general manager...
Oh, you wouldn't want me to do that.
Well, all right. Well, let's just say...
If I was the general manager...
Pretend like you had the ways and means to move the pieces around, to put the people on the field and coaching and everything. You were the head chef of the whole soup.
Okay, you're not going to like my answer.
I'm listening.
Okay. First thing I do is I tell Mike to pull Pickett, let Trubisky play the rest of the season. Because Trubisky... Pickett's getting overwhelmed, and he's going to be... you're going to ruin it. Because he's never going to get that experience where he builds up his confidence, where he gets that play that works that he didn't think was going to work, and he's not getting that... You know how you talk about the rhythm of a game? He's not getting the rhythm of being a quarterback in the National Football League. He may have had it in college, but he doesn't have it in the NFL yet. That's why we have interceptions and some bad throws and some other things going on. I think he still is a really good quarterback, and he has a lot of potential, but they're squandering that. Okay, so that's why I say take him out. We're not winning games anyway, so just put Trubisky in, right?
All right.
So now you finish out the season 2-18 or whatever it's going to be. You fire Mike Canada. And,
Matt Canada.
Oh, is it Matt? I don't even pay attention anymore. Okay, so you fire.
What does what is it, the Maple Leaf Brigade?
Which one?
Matt Canada.
Oh yeah. So,
and the straw hat fedora.
Yeah.
From Canada. Yeah, no, he's not from Canada, and we're not putting anything down from Canada. It's just his name is Matt Canada.
It's just a play on his name.
Anyway, so yeah, go ahead, continue.
Okay, so then you fire Mike, and you fire Canada, and you fire the defensive coordinator. Get rid of clean house.
All right.
Bring in a coach.
Terrell Austin was defensive coordinator.
Okay. Bring in the coach. A new coach.
Mm-hmm.
Not someone who's played in the NFL before. A really good college coach that would be willing to take the team.
Do you understand what you're saying? I mean, do you really...
My dream... Come on, work with me here. My dream is to have Nick Saban as the coach of the Steelers.
Oh my gosh!
Right? So then he comes in and he sets up his team.
Oh my gosh!
And then he gets, he gets people in line.
He won't need to coach the Steelers. He's forever going to be at Alabama until he's no longer walking this planet. So good luck with that.
Okay, not Nick Saban. All right. You crushed my dreams and hopes. Thank you very
What?
much.
I'm just breaking you down to some reality here.
You said, what would
way.
I do in a fantasy world? This is my fantasy.
All right.
Okay.
So, Nick Saban, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right. And he comes in, he cleans house, he gets people in line, once you have a better coordinators, then his job becomes almost easy because they're actually doing their jobs.
Okay. That's kind of funny that you mentioned that. All right, so that's what you would do, right? You would play Trubisky, and you would fire everybody and hire Nick Saban.
The season's over now, as it is. We are not going to have a winning season.
I mean, we're going into the bye 2-6. The Eagles have scored more in one quarter than we have
all season,
on average. That's the team that the Steelers just recently got housed by at Lincoln Financial Field on Sunday.
So at least we have one football team that's
okay. So yeah,
in Pennsylvania.
Right. All right. So here's the thing.
Games.
I get what you're saying, but Kenny Pickett is the best quarterback in the room. Period.
I agree.
So,
but we're wasting him.
All right.
Also,
all right. Hold on.
Wait, I want to make one other point. I forgot.
Okay. All right.
Kenny Pickett is just coming off a concussion, and he's getting his ass kicked. Excuse my language, but he's getting his butt kicked. What's the likelihood that he's going to get another concussion by the end of the season?
If he can. Okay, I see what you're saying. So,
take him out. Let him get completely healthy.
Well, he's going to have the next 2 weeks to get better, to heal up.
He doesn't have any protection.
No hits are going to come in the next 2 weeks. Okay, because Steelers are off now until they have their bye week is this coming week. So they don't even have to be at the facility, I believe, until next Wednesday. Or Tuesday, I'm sorry.
I honestly want to know. I'm not seeing any hope. That's really the problem.
Okay. So, now, can I have the mic now?
Yeah, it's right in front of your face.
Excellent. Can I have the floor to speak now?
You don't have the purple talking stick.
All right. Well, I'm taking the purple walking stick.
Talking.
And if I have to mute your freaking microphone, I'm gonna freaking do it. So let's bring us back down to reality here, okay? Number one, Kenny Pickett is the best quarterback in the room. I get what you're saying as far as the concussion and holding on to him. You cannot start Kenny Pickett for the last 4.5 games, and then say, yeah, it's not working out, and go back to Trubisky. That ship has sailed. So Trubisky is no longer going to be a starting quarterback unless Kenny Pickett gets hurt. That's the only way.
Which is likely.
My turn now, okay? If he continues to play the way he is playing, and he continues to get very slack line play and very little protection, then yeah, the likelihood of him getting hurt is going to be greatly increased. So here's also my theory on this. I don't think that it's a Kenny Pickett thing.
Oh, we know it's not a Kenny Pickett thing.
Because we see the talent and we see the skill that the kid had. We see the fire that he had. Look, I was sitting in the stands when the entire whole bottom section, half corner of the stadium was shouting the kid's name, and then he trots onto the field at the beginning of the half and proceeded to put the team on his back and try to win the game. And he came close. He scored 3 touchdowns.
He would have won the game.
Okay, so...
We had some other issues.
Okay. Now, so you can't... The ship has sailed for Trubisky. He's going to be a backup for us at best unless Kenny Pickett gets hurt. Mike Tomlin is not, in my opinion, going to be fired. Mike Tomlin will either be asked to resign, step away, or retire, or accept the job at USC, or whatever the case is. Okay? Because it's his call. And to me, that is the unfortunate of what's going on here, is that it is his call. Now, he is signed until the end of next year. Now, if the Steelers want to decide to crank an option where they need to end the contract after this season, or they don't sign an extension for him and his contract ends after next season, which is, in my opinion, many seasons too late already, but that's for another show, because I don't want to get into that right now. But it starts from the head down, and there was this huge migration of coaching changes that happened this past offseason, where Terrell Austin was brought in as a defensive coordinator, and Flores was brought in as a special advisor, and Canada was promoted to offensive coordinator last season, and some of the defensive backs coaches went away and came and whatever, and so a whole new different scheme, a whole new different offensive coordinator for now the last 2.5 years. And I'm here to tell you, I've seen enough of Matt Canada's offense, or whatever it is that he's trying to say that is.
I'm sorry. Everyone has seen enough of Matt Canada's.
No, but I mean as far as the body of work.
I know.
I've got enough body of work. I've seen enough tape to say that, dude, you really don't know what you're doing. Okay? You really are trying to get too many things going to misdirect or redirect, and you can't even do the basics. Well, why don't you focus on running it up the middle, or trying to do passes up the middle, or trying to do a pass deep every once in a while where the receiver is running a route that the quarterback knows that he's running.
Right.
So, to me, it's not a player per se issue. It is a coaching issue all freaking day long. And the unfortunate is that it's not gonna be it's gonna be Mike's call as to when this whole mess is gonna stop, because I do not see Pittsburgh winning anything with Mike Tomlin now or until he retires. I just don't see it. I can't, because the draft picks aren't working out. The draft picks aren't sticking around and staying with the team. I mean, they aren't.
Yeah, they aren't.
Okay, the talent, the level of talent from the draft picks isn't there either, for the most part. I mean, there's been a few hits that Colbert has made, but allowing him to stick around for this last year and then after the draft letting him fly, that to me I think was another big mistake, because now we're going to be dealing with all his mess with all these players that are, whatever. And, there's too many
mistakes
areas that point to coaching than it does to the players per se, where the clock management is beyond just, it's head scratching. And then when you're supposed to be going for it down at the goal line on 4th and 1, and you're not, and then you're doing it way back on the 45 on your side of the field. What are you doing? Smack!
Can I address something with that?
Yeah.
This is along that same thing. The penalties that are killing us. And they're killing the spirit of the team. Because as soon as they start making a couple of good plays in a row, it's an illegal formation, an illegal man downfield, holding, false start. It's almost like their play. I know exactly what play they're going to play, and I know exactly when they're going to get a penalty.
This is from somebody who doesn't know the X's and O's. This is somebody who has not watched the intense amount of game action footage, rewind and fast forward taping. This is coming from somebody who is just calling it like they see it. I'm not trying to discount you at all, but I'm just trying to point out the fact that it's this blatantly obvious
to everyone but the coaches.
Mike, are you there yet? Because he quoted last week at his press conference when somebody asked him about whether or not he was going to keep or fire Canada, and he said he's not there yet. Well, all right.
Well, how far do you need to be? How much farther do you need to go?
I watch a lot of football, and I watch a lot of other sports, but I watch a lot of football, and I gotta tell you, I don't see very many coaches a la Mike Tomlin who walk the sidelines with nothing in their hand except the red hanky.
Yeah, said that.
And the guy that is the get back guy, right? Because every team's got a get back guy,
right?
The guy that pulls the coach back from walking out onto the field or whatever. Because Mike has done that a couple times too, by the way. Anyway, that to me is baffling. The fact that the offensive coordinator is in the booth instead of on the field. Here's an observation. During the game against the Eagles, when the tomfoolery play came, where it wasn't actually the quarterback throwing the touchdown pass, who knew? Claypool was a lefty. Who knew? He has more touchdown passes than our quarterback does. But hey, it was to a wide receiver. Anyway. But do you get what I'm trying to say here? Like, they showed him cheering up in the booth. Well, great. You should be on the field smacking them guys on the helmet, telling them that was a good play and coaching them up. And down there on the field, when they're coming off the field, you should be down there coaching them up.
Right.
Reviewing
some... Here's the thing about I know there's line coaches and there's a whole bunch of coaches out there. I know that, and it might be my misinterpretation, but the offensive coordinator is kind of like upper management, right? You got the middle management, which is the coaches, not the coachers, but the coaches.
You mean like the position coaches? So here's the hierarchy of coaching. So usually you have the position coaches. And they report, so you have the linebackers coach and the defensive backs coach and the defensive linemen's coach. And they report to the defensive coordinator. Right? Then you have the offensive line coach, and you have the quarterback's coach, running backs coach, and wide receiver coach. And they report to the offensive coordinator.
Right, I got that.
All right.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
In other teams, or in another situation or another team, when the offensive coordinator is on the field, is it easier for him to speak to the players directly and say, hey, I saw you do this last time. Do you think you could do this? Or does he just relay that information to the coaches on the field, or does he expect the coaches on the field to provide that information?
That is a darn good question. Because if you were at least on the field, you could at least convey that to that player instantly instead of waiting on the communication on that, because I'm imagining that the quarterback is in touch with somebody through the headset.
Right. I'm sure that he is, but is he...
So he can only hear what they're saying. I don't think he can talk back. Okay.
I feel like sometimes I wonder if it's going through Kenny's head. I really wonder this. If he feels like going, just, no, that's not what we're going to do. We're going to do this because that's stupid. And I'm going to play the game that isn't stupid and just play the plays he wants to play because he knows they're better.
You know, it's kind of funny that you say that, because he pretty much said that in his press conference, saying, hey, you know, the offense has been doing the same things and we need to, you know, can't keep doing those same things that aren't working. And that's what he came out and said. Like, hey. All right.
All right, so can we...
Look, so just to reiterate basically what you were trying to make world here, or dream world, or whatever you want to call it, unfortunately there's no way that's going to be able to happen, and Mike is going to go when Mike decides he wants to go. And that's just the way that's going to have to be. And there's nothing we can do about that or say about that or whatever the case is. And until that happens, I think this team is just going to continue to spiral downward. Because I do not see anything in the wings. I don't see the ability to draft well enough to replace or to pick up depth as free agents. I mean, even when they have money, they still haven't gone after. I mean, I don't understand this mentality of, you know, you want to have these homegrown guys, but you just aren't picking good enough guys to be homegrown. So now you have to get these guys that are free agents, and you don't want to spend the money to get the top free agents, so you get these guys that are like, you know, not the top guys.
And you know what the sad thing is? I think we actually have a very talented team with better coaching and a little more success. I think they could do better.
So this is what I wanted to get to with this. This is what also points to coaching, which is the penalties. When you consistently have the same penalties week in and week out, and you've already mentioned them, the false starts, the illegal man downfield, the illegal formations, the illegal shifts, all of these are pre-snap penalties that are all coachable and are all part of the rules. That apparently Canada isn't aware of. So, look, when I played, I played center, and my job was to call out the gaps where I felt that the nose tackle and the guy next to him were coming. So I would call out the gaps, either A or B or 1 or 2. And that's all I did, and then I hiked the ball, and then I was responsible for my blocking assignments. If I was pass blocking, I was going to be covering because you're center, so I cover the 0 hole or the 0 gap. Sometimes I would team up with the A, or sometimes I would team up with the 1. Or if it was a run play, I would be the lead kick out block or the lead blocker on the going through the hole. So these are all pre-snap penalties, and I understand about getting everybody to the line, getting everybody set, getting everybody to who has to be on the line, who needs to be who can be off the line and things of that nature. And that's all done by coaching. So...
In practice.
And in practice. So I don't understand how you can constantly have these illegal formations and have these illegal shifts. Why can't you just line the guys up and run to the right or run to the left or run up to the middle? Why can't you just throw a pass to the tight end across the middle, or throw a pass to one of the receivers going down the field on a post or slant? Why can't you throw the fade to the end zone? Where are these simple, basic, everyday? Where's 63 toss power trap?
Okay. In case you couldn't understand that was 63 power trap.
No, that was 63 toss power trap.
I'm sorry, 63 toss power trap.
It's gonna break right open, Rats. I'm telling you.
And which movie are we? Oh no, I'm not gonna ask.
That's not a movie. That was Super Bowl III, where Lenny Dawson handed the ball off, and he it was a pitch around the corner. He just ran right in like it was nothing. There was nobody there. The hole opened up, and it was like, ah! Kansas City Chiefs won that Super Bowl, man, because of the coach, Hank Stram. Dude was a masterful offensive guru, you know. But
can we clone him?
Yeah, right. I digress.
Anyway,
I wanna stop talking about black and gold now.
Okay, we're officially
because it's black and blue, gold and kind of green and whatever.
A little yellowish.
A little yellowish. Yeah. All right. Let's go away from that. Let's talk about something. Wait a minute. I thought we were going to talk about something good, man. Well, come on. Really? Penn State gets seriously, like,
crushed.
Owned.
Well,
housed. Crushed. Manipulated. Brought back down to earth.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I know that they lost, and they lost by quite a bit, like more than 10 points. However, I think that they really had a chance. Like, a couple things went wrong, and then it all fell apart. But you know what I mean? They were doing okay for a while.
Yeah, for a minute. They were there for a minute. But.
Yeah.
It was not so Happy Valley, and Clifford did not have one of his best weeks. He threw multiple interceptions, and the defense where? I mean, it was 44-31,
I think.
31 or something stupid. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
what defense?
What? I understand. I mean, it was number 2 ranked Ohio State. I mean, seriously, the game was on the score sheet much closer than what it actually was, because the score at the end really didn't matter. The game was already over by that point, you know, and long before that was done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, man, that gives Penn State I believe that's a 2-2 record in the Big Ten, or I think it's 2-2 record, I believe, now in the Big Ten, and that clearly puts Ohio State and Michigan ahead in the East. So, in order for them to be bowl eligible, they need to at least win another game or two.
Who do you think that they can beat? Can they beat any of their remaining games? Can they win any of their remaining games?
Michigan State's going to be tough. I don't know if they'll be able to. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know Michigan State is the last game, and it's you got, you know, Rutgers, Maryland, Indiana, and Michigan State are the remaining games. So that's at least 2-3 maybe winnable games there.
Okay. So
Michigan State might be the only one there. and Rutgers and Maryland and Michigan State, they're all Big Ten. So okay, even if they go 2-2 in the last 4 games,
they'll go to a bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they didn't make a bowl game last year, right?
No. Or yet. Or
9.
9. No, they didn't do that. So, but it's gonna be one of those things where the expectations were much lower this season. Sean Clifford has had a very up and down season. We haven't quite got the Nick Singleton that we thought we were going to get, and it's just been kind of an up and down. Even though we've won games that we should have won, and we lost some games that we probably should have won for Penn State this year. So be on the lookout for the Nittany Report. It is a show that
where you go into more in-depthness.
Yeah, breakdown of the game itself and stats and thoughts and commentary and it's game ball is handed out, and so be on the lookout for that. But all right, let's talk about something good and fun. I can't believe I said that. I just said that about the Philadelphia Flyers. We have done so. It's been such a tough off season for the Philadelphia Flyers, and the news out of Philadelphia still continues to stink, with Sean Couturier now having a revision to his surgery that he had during the off season, now making him out for probably the remainder of this season.
Isn't that fantastic?
And I don't think we'll see Couturier play again. 2 back surgeries. One of them is a revision of one that didn't work. That can't... I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but that can't...
You don't even play one on TV?
No. And I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn either. Express. So... okay.
We know Ryan Ellis is out for a while.
He'll probably never play again either. And see, that's the kind of bad taste in your mouth contract that should have never have happened. But, hey. I'm just an observer. I'm a amateur observationist. And so here's my observations about the Philadelphia Flyers. A much better start than expected. But I think you have to attribute that to the Tortorella effect, where he's getting far more production out of a team that really very much underachieved last year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It almost seems like we talked about how injuries would be a huge factor in this season, and they are.
They are. I mean, it's like every week it's somebody else.
Now, with that going out there, let's say, they've Sedlak has come in and played well, and Bellows has come in and
who scored the last game? Got his first goal.
Sedlak.
Yeah.
And Bellows has played well, and those were 2 players that they picked up off the waiver wire. And Groovy, played. I really thought that they could have won that game against Florida, that second game.
Yeah.
But they lost that in overtime, and they came back to tie that, and then they were winning, and they just kind of had too many breakdowns.
I think that they were so... It was just like... I think they were tired at that point. I think they had just...
Well, they were something at that point. How's
they
that?
had played as much as they could, I think. It seemed like they were tired to me, but that could just be me.
Well, they've had some time off, so, I mean, we'll see how that all flies.
But I mean, I do have to say they're doing much better than we predicted. That we thought the beginning of the season would look like. So
exactly, I'll take that all day long. Okay, Tippett has been playing well since he's come back.
Mm-hmm.
Wade Allison has been contributing and playing well. So I'm liking that. I'm liking Delasaros. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of him. I'm liking what we're seeing out of Big Mac Attack, getting third line time and also getting power play time. Really liking his game. He has stepped up. He really has stepped up. Since he didn't make the team out of camp, he really stepped up. And he's now playing and contributing more than just what he was last year. He's kind of stepped into more of that Scott Lawton role, I think, than what Scott Lawton used to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so I like that about his game. And so
Farabee's doing well too. I've seen him in a couple assists.
Joel's been coming back around a little bit. I think it's going to be, he's still trying to physically get back and rolling. And I'll tell you somebody else who's really looked good.
Who's that?
Carter Hart.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting some wins. I mean, that builds your confidence and makes you a better player.
But he's been making some really good saves, though. I mean, my goodness. And that's been... this is why I think this all falls back to the Tortorella effect.
Yeah.
Because Tortorella historically has gotten more production out of players and has also helped goalies look good, too, because he has a defensive system. Do you know what I mean?
To protect the goalie.
Yeah, they do it from the goalie out.
Right.
Which is what you're supposed to do. And so... that's usually why. Goalies fare better under Tortorella than. Okay, so. But next game is going to be Tuesday. And I'm telling you what, a bit of a couple of stretch games here for the Flyers that are going to be.
Can I say one thing before we move on?
Yeah.
I know we don't usually cover baseball, but how about them Phillies?
Yeah, right?
How good... That's, just... So, I mean, we're not big Philly baseball fans,
we're not baseball
but...
fans for sure.
I mean, you're always going to root for your team.
Go Phillies, right? Go Phillies. I mean, you got to hold on to something. But yeah, the next... tomorrow night against the Rangers at New York, and then...
for the
Maple
Flyers.
Leafs, yeah, for the Flyers. And then the Maple Leafs and then the Senators are the next games for them. That puts us into Saturday. For those are the next 3 games for the Flyers. So if they can do okay, all right. So we'll see. Well, right now they're actually not first.
They're not?
No.
Who's first?
Oh, they're now third.
Oh.
Okay, so the Devils are first, 6-3, and then the Rangers are 5-3, and then Philadelphia is 5-2-1.
Okay.
But the Hurricanes are 5-2-1. So.
Yep.
All right, we'll take that.
Hey, we'll take anything that's a positive.
I mean, we have 11 points, so. Until the tires fall off, we'll take it.
Right.
Right? You know what I mean? So.
Win's a win.
A win's a win. Speaking of wins, we'll cover this just real quickly here, but Verstappen crosses the line first, and Red Bull wins the Constructors' Championship a week or 2 weeks the next race after Japan to win the Constructors after... Verstappen won the drivers, but will they hold on to it?
What happened?
We know that sanctions are going to come. We just don't know what they are. Because they overspent. Red Bull overspent more than what they were allowed to.
Okay.
So they look at that as getting an unfair advantage because they spent more than what they were allowed to spend. So there will be some sanctions, and I imagine that they will be some harsh sanctions.
Do you think they'll lose the championship?
Yes, I think they will strip the championship from them.
What happens then? Does it go to the next person?
Yes.
And who's next?
Ferrari.
There you go.
Constructors. So, You can't take the drivers away, I don't think. Maybe they will. I don't know.
I don't think you...
We'll see.
It wouldn't be fair to the driver because...
Well, think about it. If you overspent, that means that you gave your driver an unfair advantage by having a car that was more expensive than your rival.
Okay, so here's my question, and I guess it's an odd question about this. How do you overspend? Like, you know the amount that you can spend.
You would think.
And, did somebody buy some extra, like an extra tire or something and didn't report it?
So an extra tire in Formula One is $20,000.
Right, that's what I mean.
Okay, well, no, it's not an overspend of $20,000. It's more of a couple million.
Okay, but that's my question. How the hell do you do that?
Somebody dropped an extra pair of wrenches.
Did somebody
on some
put
bodywork.
the wrong number on a spreadsheet somewhere? And
Something. Somebody got a 0 mixed up.
Put a 9 instead of a 6. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little messed up.
And somebody who's going to get fired soon.
Or should, or hopefully, or...
Already has been.
Maybe, But,
There's some poor assistant somewhere that's going to lose their job because they're going to be made the scapegoat.
Well, they overspent. You know what I mean? What are you supposed to say to that? You broke the rules.
I mean, I get it.
Okay.
And that I appreciate the fact that there's rules and that they're enforcing them somewhat.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that. That is a good way because I'm not sure about how they're doing it in the championship points and everything and on the track. But hey, So that's a chicken Caesar wrap?
Yep.
All right. So lucky thigh.
Lucky thigh.
All right. With that, folks, we really appreciate you tuning in and checking us out. Don't forget to check out all your favorite podcasting platforms from iHeart to Google to Amazon to Spotify to all of your favorite podcasting platforms. Big, huge thank you and props to Spreaker for all your help and for getting us out there. If you want to start up a podcast, you got to go check out Spreaker. They will get you out there, out on the all the rest of the podcasting platforms. So got to go check them out. Thank you very much, Ronice.
Thank you.
All right, and we will catch you all on the next episode. Just remember, folks, stay safe, stay strong, and hang tough.